Like, what was Apex Billy on the Street for you, where you felt like, oh my God, that we have gone nuclear in a way that I never thought even possible.
It was such a slow burn.
Yeah.
Billy on the Street, the first video I made was for my live show, my live sketch comedy show that I wrote, was in with my friend Robin Lord Taylor, who's an actor, and other friends of ours from Northwestern, pitching in behind the scenes. And it was, that's where I developed that character. It was on stage and at small stages in New York. And then I said to my friend Jamie, who was directing the show, it might be funny if I went outside and kind of stopped people on the street and made them deal with this character I was doing who, above everything else going on in the world, had a desperate need to talk about pop culture and discuss it with people and opinionate about it in all kinds of ways. And we would put that video together. We shot it on a cheap Radio Shack camera because it was the cheapest one that we could get. That's why the microphone has a wire, because it was cheaper than the wireless mics, which we couldn't afford. And I just kept the mic with the wire throughout the years because it became part of the show, I thought.
Right.
And so, and we would show it on a screen. This was 2004, a year or two before YouTube even came along, and many, many years before TikTok came along. And, you're asking me what's the apex of Billy on the Street. It was such a slow burn. Billy on the Street never had a big opening weekend.
Right.
It just kind of kept rolling along. And what's crazy is that TikTok, which wasn't even around really when we were doing the TV series, it has exploded in popularity on TikTok. And I barely even do it anymore. Once in a while, we'll bring it back for a special video. But I literally, Josh, just this morning, someone tagged me in a video on Instagram, and there was a young girl in a high school in Queens, in East Rockaway, Queens. I'm forgetting her name. I think it's Liza. And it says, "Move over, Billy Eichner. We did Liza on the Street." And she's running around doing Billy on the Street in the hallways of her high school in East Rockaway, Queens, asking people holiday trivia and like yelling at them and giving out dollars the way I do on the show. And I watched this. I sent this to my friends. I said, "Can you believe this?
Yeah.
This girl wasn't alive when even maybe during the TV show. I'm sure she doesn't even know it was a TV show. It's just from TikTok." And so Billy on the Street, I don't know if there is an apex. It just keeps rolling along. I do think when we had Michelle Obama on the show, we did a segment with Michelle Obama and Big Bird together, and Elena, who, if you know Billy on the Street, is a person I ran into on the street, this hilarious older lady who we keep bringing back on the show. And Michelle Obama was the first lady of the United States, the sitting first lady at this point. This was 2014. And we went down to DC and shot this really funny, surreal segment. And I thought to myself, as we were waiting for Mrs. Obama to arrive on set that day, because she couldn't be out on the street because the Secret Service wouldn't allow it. So
Sure.
we shot inside a supermarket in DC. It's on YouTube, you can see it. But I was just standing in the supermarket, very, very nervous, waiting for her to arrive. And I thought, how has this happened? What has happened? But that's happened with Billy but when I saw the video of running around her high school today, I started this thing 20 years ago, and now there's a 13-year-old girl still running around because she saw it on TikTok. So I don't know. I'm very grateful, and it took on a life of its own that was completely unexpected. And I don't know. It's one of those things.